Hi everybody, welcome to Science with Miss Catherine. I've been missing you guys. I hope everyone is well and getting outside and seeing some nature during this time. I wanted to get outside today and talk to you guys a little bit about camouflage. Do you remember that big science word? We've talked about it a few times in science class. Do you remember what it means? It means to blend in with your environment. And there are a lot of animals that are really good at camouflage. And did you know that there's not just one type of camouflage, but 4 types of camouflage? The first one is probably one we're all most familiar with. It's called color matching. I'm going to show you some examples of all of these types of camouflage in just a few minutes. But the first one, color matching, an example of that would be a green lizard sitting on a green leaf. So the predator, do you remember that science word? A predator is an animal that might want to eat that lizard. So the predator might walk by the green leaf and not even see that little lizard sitting on the leaf. So he's done a really good job camouflaging in, so his predator keeps going and doesn't eat him. The second type of camouflage is called disruptive coloration. Now, that's a big term, disruptive coloration. What could that mean? Well, let me give you an example of that. Imagine that there are not one, but 50 zebras standing in a herd, all together. And a predator comes by and sees stripes everywhere. In fact, that predator can't tell where one zebra ends and another one begins because they just see so many stripes. That's an example of disruptive coloration. So the third type of camouflage is called mimicry. Now, to mimic or copy, you guys are familiar probably with the term copycat. Copy and mimic, they mean the same thing. So an animal that mimics something is using mimicry to camouflage into its environment. And we have a couple of examples of that to show you in just a minute. The fourth type of camouflage is called active camouflage. Now, this one is really cool. These animals can change their color to blend into their environment. Really cool, huh? One example of this is an octopus. If it goes over a certain color pattern of rock or coral reef, it can change its color to blend in. Certain types of octopus can do that. That's really neat. So now I want to show you some pictures of animals that are really good at camouflage and see if you can find the animal in the picture. Some of them are a little tricky, so you might have to look at them for just a moment. But keep looking, and then after we've looked at it for just a moment, I will circle the animal and tell you what it is, and you can see if you got it right. Are you ready? This is our first picture. I spy someone hiding on the tree bark. Do you spy it too? Yes, it's a gray tree frog. Good job. I spy someone hiding in the snow, in this snowy scene. Do you see someone curled up in the snow? It's an Arctic fox. The Arctic fox even has some snow on his fur. This is an example of disruptive coloration. This animal has spots, lots of spots, confuses the predator. Who is hiding in this tree? It's a leopard. Such a beautiful big cat. Okay, let's dive into the ocean. Do you see anyone in this ocean scene? This fish has such an interesting name. It's called the four-eye butterfly fish. It doesn't really have four eyes. The top spot that looks like an eye, that's just to trick the predator. Still in the ocean, I see someone hiding in this bed of kelp. Do you see it? It's a leafy sea dragon. He looks a lot like the kelp or the seaweed that he's hiding in. That's an example of mimicry. Here's another example of mimicry. Predators think that this insect might be a snake because those big spots, they look like snake eyes, but that's not really his eyes. This is the larva for a spicebush swallowtail butterfly. This is an example of active camouflage. Do you see an animal in this picture? This is a day octopus. He can change his colors to match the rocks. This is another active camouflage example, this fish. This is a special type of fish that can change its color based on what it's nearby in the sea. This is called a cuttlefish. Okay, here's something else hiding in the ocean. This is very small, and its body is covered with the same colors and shapes as the coral home that it lives in. This is a pygmy seahorse. Very pretty. Do you see someone hiding on this leaf? Who could that be? Look closely. It's called a walking leaf. It's an insect called a walking leaf. I think I know why he's called that. Looks like a lot like a leaf. Look very closely at this picture. This one is very tricky. There is someone hiding in this picture. Do you see it? If you look very closely, you can see two eyes of the stonefish. I just see something that looks like a tree stump. Do you see anything here? It's the tawny frogmouth. This is a bird hiding in plain sight to look like a tree stump. Someone is hiding in this tree bark. Who could it be? Who could it be? It's a screech owl. Did you guess it? Okay, now we're in the desert. There's something hiding in the desert sand. I would not want to step on this animal. Eek! It's a desert viper. That's a snake. He looks a lot like the sand that he's blending in with. What's on this twig? Do you see an insect? Look closely. It's a conehead mantis. Looks a lot like the praying mantis with praying hands. Oh, I see green leaves. Do you see anything else in these green leaves? It's a lizard. Good job. Going back to the sea. Look closely. Beautiful red coral. What's hiding in there? Oh, it's a soft coral crab. It looks just like that beautiful coral. Okay, still in the ocean. This is a great picture. Two things are hiding in this picture. Look very closely. Do you see two fish? It's the blue spotted clipfish. If you look very closely, you can see the little blue spots. Someone is hiding on the ocean floor. Oh my, who is this? Who could this be? It is a flatfish. It must be his birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Flatfish. He's got on a birthday hat. There's someone else hiding on the ocean floor. Do you see anyone hiding? Look very closely. You'll see an eye looking at you. It's a stingray. Good job. You found it. I see a lot of tree stumps. Is there anything else in this picture other than tree trunks? 1, 2 elephants. Did you find the elephants? On the tree bark, there's a winged insect hiding. Do you see it? Look very closely. It's a cicada. Did you find the cicada? They're very good at camouflage. Oh, there's somebody else camouflaging. I see a lot of stuffed animals, but there's one real animal in the picture. Can you spy it? Oh, there he is right in the middle. What a cute little boo. Butterflies have different ways of camouflaging. One example is mimicry. This is an owl butterfly. Those big spots on the wings, those aren't really eyes, but a predator thinks those are the eyes of an owl. This is an Indian leafwing. And when the wings are closed, this butterfly looks like a dead leaf. Okay, I have a fun challenge for you. Can you make your very own butterfly to camouflage in? I've made one of the Indian leaf wings. See how the top of his wings are the pretty blue and orange pattern? But if he were to be sitting still on a leaf, he would blend in with the brown leaves. This butterfly can flap his wings. He's fun to play with. So my challenge to you is to make a butterfly that camouflages into something in your home or outside your home. It can be anything you like, and I'll show you how to make it. So I'm using about 1/3 of a piece of paper, just a piece of white printer paper. So I'm just going to cut off my 1/3. It could be a little bigger or a little smaller, it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to take that piece and I'm going to fold it in half. Now that it's folded in half, I'm going to draw just one side of my butterfly. That way when we cut it, both sides will be exactly the same. So I'm going to leave a little bit of space, about a fingernail's width of space before I start drawing. And that's from the folded edge of the paper. So I'm going to draw one wing and the second wing. And then I'm going to stop again about a fingernail's width away from the fold of the paper. And I'll show you why. Because when I start cutting, I'm going to cut straight up towards where I drew. And then I'll cut around the wing. And cut the upper wing. And again, I'm going to stop right before. I don't want to get all the way to the fold of the paper. I want to leave some space because that's going to be my handle for my butterfly. So I'm going to go straight up. Okay. Now see, we've got our butterfly, and when we open it up, both sides are symmetrical. They're both the same. So we can lay them out flat and fold this wing down, and then turn it over and fold the other wing down. And that way, when we hold the handle, our butterfly has wings that can really flap. And you can color your wings any color you like. I just challenge you to make it camouflage in. See you next time.